Is it really that time? Am I finally talking about this? Is this the granddaddy of movies I've ever wanted to make? My golden child, my one and only, my hopes and dreams, the biggest mountain and challenge and fun content I want to create right here. Am I talking about it right now? Yes. Yes, I am. Oh boy, where do I start? I've made so many videos talking about my filmmaking journey, and it's taken me many years to finish my first two Fatal Encounter films, and I had ideas to really create like a whole series like other cinematic movies that I can't really talk about here at this moment, but you know exactly which ones I'm talking about. And I had an opportunity to go and create that, but then I started looking at the finances, the time, the people helping me, the challenges ahead, and all those factors and more is why I decided maybe it's good to just keep this as a trilogy. Now, I'm not going to say this ever. My films are nowhere near perfect. My first Fatal Encounter movie, which I'm finally, at the time of this recording, finishing up the touches and putting it on free on YouTube, and you'll be able to buy a Blu-ray of it down the road. Not too far down the road because I'm kind of getting stuff caught up and going. But it's not perfect. It has audio problems, it has pacing problems, there's too much dialogue, not enough action, too much action, not enough dialogue. So it's kind of like all over the place. It's a bit of a mess to watch, and it's definitely amateurish. But it's more, at least intermediate amateurish. It's not as amateurish as my Battle Against Fate or my Final Confrontation from the end of high school and my early college days. Oh man, now those are home video movies that are a mess indeed. But they're my mess, and I enjoyed making them. Because without those messes, I want to be pursuing something professionally like I am now. So, Fatal Encounter, I started filming that in 2015. I got inspired to do a sequel called Fatal Encounter Rise and Fight. Yeah, as you can tell, this is a trend that's going on, right? Just a few years down the road, and we end up filming that, and I got that released early this year, and that's like my big movie, like my last big movie. And just because of time, finances, and a lot of other issues, I had to keep it short. So I kept that movie about 33 minutes, whereas the first Fatal Encounter is over an hour and a half, and it's kind of a drag. But so in order to understand why I want to create this next big movie called Fatal Encounter: Emergence of Talents, it helps to go back in time and just do a quick recap of the first two Fatal Encounters, because I'm going to be talking a bit about the story and why this next movie is going to be the biggest one of them all, and also the last one. Unless I pull like a 4, like a lot of movies these days, movie series. I don't know, but I'm keeping it at 3. Fatal Encounter takes place in 2015. I want to be a part of the filmmaking experience. I also want to be in front of the camera. I am by no means a professional actor at all, so please bear with me as our acting slowly improves throughout the movies and throughout the time we've created them. So a character named Fennec, he's 21 years old in the first Fatal Encounter. He has a lot of backstory, but you kind of just pick it up as you go. He's stubborn, he's a little bit of an asshole, he's traumatized from past events that I don't really get into because I don't want you watching my past works to kind of see where his backstory was at, because they're so painful to watch. And so he helped stop something called a martial arts massacre, which to me sounded pretty cool at the time. He stopped that, which basically just a bunch of martial artists with terrible ideals. They fight each other, they end, they're done, it's in the past. And this ex-government agent comes around going, hey, this guy's name's Rich, he's also a news reporter. He goes, you kind of helped the community out before. Would you enjoy helping us out again? Because we got a much bigger problem here in our area, and no one wants to help me with it. Oh yeah, well what is it? Well, this group called Sacrifice for a Greater Cause is a bunch of maniacs who kind of want to take over the world, it seems like. So it's definitely more black and white at the beginning. And then Fennec goes, well, I've actually started talking with these guys already. And they want to recruit me to teach them karate, and I don't know why. Okay, I'll go with it. I kind of beat up the guy trying to recruit me, so that's not going to work anymore. Damn. So throughout the movie, you figure out Riker, who is the leader of this organization. He lost his parents in a car crash. He has a lot of bitter feelings, and so he wants to change the role to make things better. And he just kind of wants to wipe out most of the population to do it. He is psycho. Completely psycho. And the main character's like, yeah, we're not going to let that happen. But he's so young and inexperienced. He's like 19 years old, so he's even younger than the main characters. So he acts on emotions rather than thinking like strategically, thinking logically, thinking at all, right? So he just goes and acts upon it. And his ego is kind of what is his downfall. And he has a guy who's like under him that follows his every order, but he doesn't respect him. This guy named Chris could care less about his boss. He just goes and does his own thing. As long as they're creating chaos, that's all they need to do. And so the characters make the decision to go stop these guys. I'm recapping a lot to keep it short. And the decisions they make in that final act of the film traumatize them. They barely make it out alive. And because of that, it kind of sets up things from here on out. Because at the end of that part, you realize that this crazy, egotistical 19-year-old leader, he's only the bottom three of something much larger. And I don't go into details of that. I kind of leave that there because at the time I wanted to leave it open-ended in case I wanted to continue this kind of story, but keep making it better and better. So you don't really have to watch the first one to get the story of 2 and 3, but it certainly does help out a lot with some of those details. Now, Fatal Encounter Rise and Fight takes place 3 years after that. Fennec decided to leave. He went into hiding. Rich is extremely bitter. He doesn't want to do anything. So he does his own thing. And then someone kind of comes out of the woodwork that kind of starts pulling everything together once more. His name is Nick, and he used to work for these guys. How he got away, maybe I'll tell you in the last film. Why he's friends with one of the main characters, which is the character I play. I'll leave that to imagination or to be explained in a further film, right? And so he comes out going, hey, I've known your friend, and you're the only one I can contact to get back in contact with him. I got a lot to show you, and things are not looking good. Huh, okay. So Richard goes, all right, sure, show me what's going on. And what they find is disturbing. They take people, they're turning them into soldiers, they're brainwashing, they're manipulating, they're using viruses or some other methods to have humans evolve. They have like a really terrible ideology. And their leader, Seth, who is the second in command, but you learn that there is a hierarchy of things going on. He is of the west side of the US, and you also learn that they're rooted underneath, and they're also being supported, possibly, by the government. Which is also a scary fact, because weren't they at war with these guys? So how are they working underneath and possibly being supported? There's a lot going on, which the third film really explains all of it, but this is kind of like the stairs to get there. And so Seth, he's a complete psychopath. He has a bit of a sociopath in him too. He likes to control people. He likes to watch people suffer. He likes to stand back. At the same time, he is so power hungry. He wants to just keep going. And Fennec gets called back into the action. So Rich and Fennec fight side by side this time around against these guys. And Nick fought Seth earlier, but he doesn't quite make it out. So something happens to him in the middle. They don't really find out what happened to him until the end of the movie. And so it's just a huge fight. They barely make it out alive. They take out the second in command. And then they find something that's truly horrifying. I guess I already spoiled it. So what they find is the corpse of the last person they took out, Riker. And it's like a decaying, rotted corpse, and it's just kind of there in a body bag, not being humidified, nothing. It's just there. Maybe they're transporting it, who knows? And so now they have 2 corpses of the last 2 leaders that they fought. Why do they have the one prior? What good would he have done? You find that out in the final one. I keep saying that because it all ties together in this grand finale that I want to create. So that's the quick recap of the first 2 fatal encounters. You got a group of protagonists that are trying to fight a strong evil, and every time they feel like they're jumping over mountains, they keep seeing a bigger one ahead of them. And they want to do the right thing. They don't want humanity to be wiped out and changed completely to be something more than a human, which is we call a biohuman, someone who's biogenetically enhanced to be stronger, better, smarter, and enhanced than in any other way. They are more enhanced than what we as humans who just grew up normally are. And that's what's scary. And our characters don't want that to happen because they want like a mass extinction event to create this. And it's completely terrible. So they will fight. It's basically a good versus evil story. And depending on your point of view, you can completely switch those roles. Fatal encounter, emergence of talents is what's going to go into who is the supreme leader they keep talking about. Who is below him? Were there any replacements? Why is he doing what he wants to do? And then you also go into the main characters. Are they able to overcome their fears? Are they able to overcome their challenges? Their own trauma that they've accumulated to this point? And are they able to finally stop this madman once and for all? And there's a lot of, there's a lot of drama in this story this time around. You learn who Zagan is. He is the leader. And you figure out his backstory. You figure out why he is so strong and he does what he does. His second in command, Abigor. Abigor is going to be like an old instructor and master of Nick. So those two are going to have huge ties with one another. Maybe there's going to be some love interest this time around, maybe some romance. Maybe there's going to be a lot more backstory with Rich. I don't want to spoil a whole lot, but this film is something that I can't create out of pocket this time. The first fatal encounter cost me around $15,000. The second fatal encounter cost me around $20,000, plus even more with interest, because I financed it out of my own pocket, and there are some consequences to financing things, especially when you have a harder time paying them off with unexpected bills, between life, we'll just say life. I don't need to go into details about that right now. And so I can't keep creating movies out of my own pocket while I'm still digging myself out of this hole. But you guys can help me with that. Whether you're new to this channel, whether you've been here for a while, whether like wherever you come from, wherever you're seeing me on, I appreciate you sticking this far into the video. So Fatal Encounter Emergence of Talents will take place in 2021. It takes place about 2.5 years this time around. Not 3, but around 2.5. And this time, a new deal is signed, and you figure out a lot that's going on. And this time, in the first 2 movies, the protagonists were always approaching the villains. They are the ones who made the first steps. In Rise and Fight, Seth was always one step ahead of them, but even then he still fell to the heroes. If you consider them heroes, right? That all depends on you. And this time around, it's the complete opposite. The villains come to them. They're the ones who call the shots. They're the ones who will pull the characters out of hiding and do whatever it takes. And they are a force to be reckoned with, and there are heavy consequences that goes on. I want this to be huge. I want to film a lot of this in California. I want to film some of this in my home state, Nevada. There's going to be some traveling. And between, let's break down the costs, right? I'm looking at trying to raise $50,000 on Kickstarter. Some of that's going to go just to taxes, because taxes are everywhere. Some of that's going to go towards traveling. You got planes, hotels, gas, food, little things like that. Others going to go towards props and equipment. I don't have everything. I mean, I just bought this new camera. It's nice. It's well, let's not go over the brand right now, but I'm going to need a second camera. I'm going to need another microphone. I'm going to need, maybe some more LED lights. I don't know yet. I'm going to need some more equipment though. And then, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And I'm also going to need props. A lot of props, from fake guns to knives. I want to get some actual prop knives, not knives I branded down that are actually kind of serious to be swung around. I want to get something that's safer for all the actors. And clothes, oh my gosh, I got to buy everyone clothes. Shoes, stuff just adds on. That's going to cost a little bit of money too. Oh gosh, let's get into cast and crew, right? The cast and crew we were just talking about. They are going to cost the biggest chunk of this production, at least a third, if not a half, of the actual overall budget. They need to be paid for their time. And it's important that, hey, if you're going to spend 8 to 12 hours on the film set with me, you're taking your weekend out away from your family to go travel to California to film, they need to be compensated for that. And I want to compensate them as much as possible without us breaking the budget of the movie. And then there's also special effects. Visual effects are hugely important. I might hire back the same company. We had a little bit of issues, so that's something that him and I would have to talk about before he works again on another project. But I'm also looking at hiring a couple other companies instead, one of which one of my friends owns. So I'm highly considering that. And gosh, so visual effects are a good chunk of the budget. And then there's also going to be the music composition. Music, to me, is one of the biggest factors in a movie. And they need to be compensated too, like a good amount. And that's also going to be about a third of the budget as well. Or a fourth, actually a fifth of the budget if we're able to actually accumulate at least $50,000. That's just my overall estimate. The more and more I break down the numbers, that is a comfortable number to be at to make a feature-length film. Yes, this one's going to be feature-length. 90 minutes, give or take 1 or 2, 5, something around that. I finished the script just last week. I finally touched it up. Then I went back yesterday. Obviously, the time I got to actually record, edit this, and put on wherever you're watching this right here for you guys to see. Yeah, I got it done the day before I recorded this. Not the day before you're seeing this, to clear that up. Anyways, I've been tweaking the story. I've been adding things here or there. I've been adding more dialogue to kind of spice things up. I've been really detailed in what I'm explaining and showing, and I can't wait to take the script to paper. And so once the Kickstarter is live, I'll update a link down below here, and I'll also put up our Kickstarter video on here as well. This is not the Kickstarter video by any means. So I'll let you guys know when that's happening. I can't wait. I'm still working on the Kickstarter page and details. There's going to be, gosh, this is going to be mirrored. So let's say it's on my left-hand side. There's going to be certain tiers of rewards that people are going to be able to grab, you guys especially. Whether you just want a poster, a signed poster, a Blu-ray of the movie, a Blu-ray of all 3 movies, you're gonna have that option. And I also like to add a movie ticket. So if you're one of the biggest investors and sponsors for what we're doing, you're gonna be able to actually fly down to where we're at and watch the movie for the first time in a theater that I like to rent out. Oh yeah, that needs to be part of the budget too. Theaters cost a lot of money to rent out, believe it or not. So yeah, gotta toss that in there. And that's gonna be exciting. But right now, this video, as I'm making it, is a maybe. We might be able to do this. I really want to do this. I can, but I need your help. So if you are able to help in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't have to be financially. If you're just like our videos, subscribe, comment down below, Share it with your friends and family. Any kind of support is going to help. And then when that Kickstarter page is launched, share that like, this is a bad choice of wording. Share it like, I want to say wildfire, but that's not exactly the best words. Just share it like crazy, and that is going to be great. Anyways, I can't talk too much more about the story without ruining what we're going to create and what we're going to do. But it's going to be huge, and I can't wait. So that being said, have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, take care, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one.